Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy podcast. Do not skip these ads. These ads are important. Do not skip them. Our first sponsor is Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid, the leader in auto repair in West Michigan. If you're from West Michigan or in West Michigan, they are off of 44th Street, just east of 131. To contact them, you can call them at 532-6600 or irvines.com. You can schedule everything online. Everything is done digitally. You don't even have to see Megan or Jamie or Bruce, but of course you want to if you can, but you don't have to during the pandemic, so we appreciate them supporting us. Like I said, you go to irvines.com, you can schedule the service. They send you pictures. You can accept or decline anything you want repaired. And again, we can't thank them enough for supporting us. Our second sponsor is Oiluber. Go to oiluber.com to sign up to be a technician to help people change their oil or to get your oil changed. They are a mobile oil change service. They come to your home, they change your oil right in your driveway, make sure everything's clean, everything's great, and you move on with your life. The only thing you have to do is pop your hood. It's the easiest thing you could do. And the prices are competitive with Valvoline or any of the major chains. So also, if you want to provide the service, you go to oiluber.com. So you can become a technician to change oil, provide a jump start or fuel delivery service. So basically everything as a customer or as a technician, if you want to do any of those services, go to oiluber.com and sign up. Lastly, of course, an ad for us. If you go to patreon.com and search the Gig Economy podcast, you can join us on Patreon. What is Patreon? Patreon is a subscription service behind a paywall. Basically what we do for $5 a month, you're just like kind of buying us a coffee each month. You know, no big deal. We appreciate the support. But level 2 is $10 a month. And what that gets you is a piece of Gig Economy podcast merch and an extra podcast a month and pre-show banter before we record the podcast. So patreon.com and then search the Gig Economy podcast and you will find us. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Enjoy the show. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy podcast. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. There we go. Tonight is an international podcast, y'all. We got Jesper, who's in Denmark right now at 3:03 in the morning. Yikes. And then, of course, Larry and I are from the States, but Larry is from Bowling Green. And then, of course, I, Jason, am from good old Michigan. So thank you guys for stopping by tonight. This is going to be a fun podcast. This studio is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair, and we will talk about them a little bit, and we'll get to Larry in a second. But, hey, if you could share the show, that would be great. Like it, do whatever, retweet on Twitter, all that stuff. Everything gig economy related, if you can go to gigeconomy-podcast.com, and you can get all our podcasts there, videos, merch, the whole 9 yards. Also in the description, there's a Linktree link, and if you click on that, that will give you everything as well too. So, Larry, what's up?
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing from around the world and around the United States? Y'all doing well? Staying warm?
Yeah, I feel like we need to get Janet in here and just bring her in for like 5 minutes and be
just to cover another part of the globe. That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it?
Right.
He's out driving right now.
Probably. What time?
Yeah, she's out working. She's only one of those that works anymore.
Yeah, what is it, like 3 p.m. there the next day?
Yes,
something
I believe that's correct.
That's crazy.
I think it's
3. Yeah, I think it's 5 hours earlier than it is here, but the next day. Which is crazy. Thursday.
Which is crazy because, like, I feel like Denmark's like close to New Zealand, like a lot closer than we are in the States. So I'm like, why is it still messed up?
Wow.
Me and geography,
because they're like 18 hours ahead of you guys, and I'm 16 hours. I'm 6 hours ahead of you guys. It's weird.
Oh wow, that gets crazy.
Hey, I was told there'd be no math involved in it.
Yeah, we got our 2 worst subjects, math and geography, and we've already hit on both of them. All right, before we get into the stories, I just want to thank you to our Patreon members. Of course, Larry from Bowling Green, thank you, long supporter. Keith from Georgia, Janet from New Zealand, Leo from Detroit, Samson from Grand Rapids, Miguel from Grand Rapids, Ron from San Fran, and Steve from Colorado. We can't thank you enough for that. Also, speaking of Steve in Colorado, if you want a podcast to check out, which Larry's going to be on real soon, it's called Rideshare Rodeo. It's on all the platforms that you can get podcasts from, but he has some great interviews. It's a good podcast to listen to. A little bit different from ours. Ours is more, I don't know, it's infotainment, chemistry driven. His is a little bit more serious about gig work. Not that we're not serious about gig work. But...
I wasn't serious. What are you talking about?
Seriously funny.
Yay! There you go. There you go. Ba-dum-bum. And then, of course, our Telegram group, we had a new participant. He has his business name on there, but I don't remember his real name. But welcome to, what was it, Florida Sales and Service or something like that?
Florida Sales and Service.
I don't know why. I don't know. I thought for sure I had to keep the delete button over his name because I thought for sure he was going to start selling product when he got in there, but he didn't.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
There you go.
So I realized I had this ad spot in the wrong spot, but that's okay. So before we jump in, we're going to talk about stories. Larry's going to kind of talk his game, what he does in Bowling Green, and how long he's been driving, and yada yada. You're on, Larry. Go.
All right. As far as stories, probably the most memorable thing that's happened the last couple of weeks out doing rideshare. About 3 weeks ago, I picked up a passenger. It's probably about 12:30 in the morning. And pulled into the driveway, and there was 2 cars in the driveway, and she was sitting in one of the vehicles. So that's a little weird, right off the bat, and that late at night. And so she gets in the car, and as y'all know, you can tell when a passenger's upset. Usually something's going on, and I could tell. It looked like she'd been crying, and so you never know how to broach it. Some people just want to be left alone. So I try to usually use a little bit of humor. So I always just tell them like, hey. Seems like you're having a rough night, and if you want to talk, I grew up with 5 sisters, so I'm a really good listener. So that kind of breaks the ice usually a little bit. And so she kind of started talking to me, and she said that she just had to get out of her house because her husband was in a rage and he was being abusive. And you always hate to hear something like that.
Yeah.
And she never really would tell me kind of exactly what went down that night, but she said that she said she very easily could have had him arrested, and that a year ago that he actually broke her wrist.
No.
And so I was like, Katie, you got to get out of there. He's gonna hurt you, or he's gonna kill you. It's like, it's not, you've been with him long enough, because she was in her mid 40s. It wasn't like she was a 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's going to happen. And she agreed, but it was the same story that you hear over and over. She talked about how he made her feel worthless, how he cut her off from friends and family. He told her it was her fault that he did the things he did because she made him mad. Found out she was going over to stay at someone that she worked with, stay at their house, and she was really going to try to get away from him. And so when I got there, we were still talking. And so I was like, hey, look, listen, I'm just going to turn off the app and we'll sit here and talk until, as long as you need to talk. And, it's just one of those times. It's not always about the money. Sometimes you feel like God's really put you in a spot for a certain reason, and you just got to be there and kind of open yourself up and say, what can I do to help this person out? Because they're in a bad spot. And so we talked for about, 5 or 10 minutes, and then I asked her if I could pray for her, and she was very, very grateful and thankful for that. And I know it's not a politically correct thing to do, especially in the days of COVID, but in the end she got out, and I was making sure she got up to the house, and she gave me a big hug, and I just told her, like, look, I'm praying for you. Look, I don't want to read about you in the paper.
Yeah.
I don't want to, so make sure you follow through. And I really hope I run into her again, because otherwise, you don't know the end of the story.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you all have those moments where you think you need to step in. Ben's king of those.
Yeah.
Ben. I was thinking about that. He's had a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know what to do, but I have that. Have had that before in the past, where you're just like, they start crying and you're like, oh man, what do I do here? I mean, I know it's awkward, but it's probably more awkward for her or him or whatever than the person, than me. So a good job embracing
Jason
that.
He doesn't handle feelings well, so that's good.
Excuse me, I have a podcast all about feelings. By the way, Threads Podcast Life Unfiltered if you want another one to listen to.
Oh.
Yeah, just, hey.
Why don't you put that in your name, Jason?
Yeah, exactly.
Threads.
Hashtag Threads. Hashtag Thready.
Yeah.
Anyways. So tell me a little bit.
I
Sorry, Jesper. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just wanted Larry to tell a little bit where he's from, how long he's driven for people that are just new listeners. Just kind of the lay of the land in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Sure. Yeah. I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky. We're situated not quite halfway, but almost halfway between Nashville, Tennessee and Louisville, Kentucky. So we've got two, major cities kind of on each side of us, about 60 miles north of Nashville, about 110 miles south of Louisville. Our town's about 70,000 population, about 35 square miles. So not a really big city at all. Been doing rideshare here for a little over 3.5 years. Started out doing Uber, added Lyft within a couple of weeks. And then like a lot of people, resisted the urge to do food delivery, didn't want to do food delivery, tried it out time or two, didn't like it. And then COVID hit and all of a sudden food delivery is all I could do. During the day, I work as a computer systems engineer for the city of Bowling Green. And they said, that's too risky. You can't do rideshare. So for about 7 months, I wasn't able to do rideshare. So switched over to food delivery and was making more money doing that than I did doing rideshare. But then they said I could do rideshare again. And I enjoy the rideshare. I enjoy the interaction, meeting people. I have an Instagram called Lifting with Larry, where I post pictures of selfies I take with some of my passengers because about 80% of my rides are college kids. Western Kentucky University is located here, about 20,000 students. And they eat it up. They have a lot of fun. Kind of gotten well known around campus. I'll have people get in the car and ask if I'm lifting with Larry. And I mean, it makes me laugh. Where else would 3 20-year-old college girls get so excited about a 54-year-old man picking them up in the car? I mean, they get so excited. It's hilarious. It cracks me up.
Man, Larry, you need to go on TikTok. You need to start becoming TikTok famous.
That's what one of the people told me when Instagram took away my account a few weeks ago. Yeah. Somebody's like, "Oh yeah, you just need to get on TikTok." So I'm exploring that. I'm going to explore that.
Yeah, I know TikTok is a lot stricter with I don't know, video violations. Like I see a lot of people like, oh, TikTok took this down like for violence or, sex or whatever. But
I usually don't have that going on in my car.
I was going to say,
it's not when I'm working. It's not when I'm working, right?
You leave the camera off for that.
There you go.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy how you had to say violence and sex at the same time, Jason.
Well, hey, hey.
I'm not going to go there.
When I hear Larry, I don't usually hear about that.
All right, we're going to jump into our first ad, our studio sponsor. There we go. Irvine's Auto Repair in Grand Rapids Hybrid, located on Stafford, just east of 131 off 44th Street. Call them at 532-6600 or schedule irvines.com. Of course, I was there this week. It went well. Got some transmission fluid change, spark plugs, just kind of some maintenance stuff. So that was great. You can do everything online, which is super cool. And they send you a text with pictures of your screwed up shit. And so then you can be like, oh man, that is pretty messed up. And you can accept or decline anytime you want to do that. Like you don't have to do everything. They're not going to force you to do it, but they obviously do recommend that you do everything on there. I never do. It just is what it is. So probably next month I'll get some more maintenance done. But yeah, 532-6600 or irvines.com. Thank you for supporting the Gig Economy podcast, y'all. All right. So first up, this is going to be, this woman is a little whiny and I want to watch it. She says we also send pics of the not screwed up stuff. Yeah, but those aren't as much fun for you. You don't make money on those. Okay, so this chick, I hope Sam's still on because she can bring a little light to this, but we're going to watch a video. It's about a woman that is a Instacart shopper, and she's complaining about Costco. What was that? Larry? Are you?
Yep.
Did you just turn your phone on?
No, I was just looking at the comments. I was trying to look at the comments to see if anybody from the Bowling Green.
You can look. You can look. You can look on the comments on StreamYard, can't you?
I do not see any comments.
You should be able to see them.
You have to switch the tab out to the left.
Or all the way up in the upper right says comments. You click on that, you should be able to see the comments.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Technical error. This technology stuff's way over my head, guys.
I know. I know. You're good. You're good. Okay. So basically, she's upset at Costco for how much she's making and blah, blah, blah. So we'll play that. Sam will probably have a good take on that. All right. Let me bump this out, and there we go.
Guys, I just want to tell you, please don't ever order Costco through the Instacart app. It says that if you're an Instacart shopper, you don't have to wait in the lines because they're partnered with Costco, and I don't know, it's just like you're like an employee basically. And so I went to go in, and they're like, you need to go wait in the line. And I'm like, but I'm an Instacart shopper. She's like, it doesn't matter, you need to go wait in the line. So I was like, okay. And then I called, and I was like, I was told that I didn't have to wait in the line. And the administration office where I was at Ancaster, Hamilton, said, no, you need to wait in the line. And I said, I'm only being paid $12. Like, I can't stand in a line for an hour for $12. And she's like, well, it's not my problem. You're only being paid $12 for an hour. And I can't get over that level of disrespect. Especially in these trying times when people are just trying to make money to make ends meet.
Okay. So I totally get.
Well, first of all, she said where she was from.
Yeah, well, she put it on the internet, so unfortunately, that's where it is. I'm not really. She's, wow. Sam went right there. Wow, I'm not gonna.
Tell us how you really feel.
Holy cow! I am not gonna show that comment. You can look for yourself, y'all. So I totally get. I always try to. Especially since the pandemic started, when I see people upset or whatever, I kind of say, what might they be going through right now? You know what I mean? So I try to give people a little bit of grace. But the whole thing about standing in line, I know Sam had said earlier that used to be a rule that you could cut the line, but apparently they changed it. But I mean, she's the one that took the order for $12. Like, that's where my frustration of her posting that comes out.
Right.
Like, why would you do that?
But that comes down to learning the system, and that, just like anything else, we talked about it 100 times before. That's what differentiates the experienced gig economy worker with the non-experienced one, right? I mean,
yeah,
she probably hadn't been doing it that long, as you said, Jason. Why are you taking that $12 order?
Right.
And then that's Sam's exact same, comment. Don't take those orders. It's that easy. And I think what they don't realize, it's both hurting them now and it's hurting everybody in the long run, right?
Yeah.
Because as long as somebody takes those cheap orders, like you said, when I was out trying that one-time Uber Eats, don't take the McDonald's orders, right?
Yeah.
Don't take the $3.50 orders because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
As long as somebody takes them, nobody's going to change.
Yeah, and I know each market is different, but Sam has told me some of the moolah she's made out of Costco before. Yeah, she could make a lot more than $12 per order. Like, Sam would clean up at Costco. I probably shouldn't have said that. She ain't doing it now. I don't give a shit. Hey, if you want good money from Instacart, go to Costco before they open.
Well, so that's the thing. You have to, if you learn the system, learn what's the right way of doing Costco, then you can make some money, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's no way she's been doing that very long. If she got this upset at something like that, yeah, she's definitely not been in the game.
why is it millennials, and God, I'm no offense to any millennial in here, Sam. Why do they make videos and cry like that? I don't know. Like, if I was that upset, I that's the last thing I would want to do is do that.
Well,
Share it with the world. Yeah, let's see if it'll go viral.
I mean, what is the point of doing that?
Crying video. Go.
Anyways,
what I think that is it, right? That's the whole reason for doing TikTok and stuff like that. It's like people will do that and they will just say whatever they want to, but they're wanting to blow up, right?
Hey, I'd love to blow up on TikTok, but I don't have that much talent. I'll be honest with you.
You can't whine that good.
Neither does the ones who are uploading.
That's true. Touche. All right, Jesper, let's talk about gig work with the Biden administration.
So I got to be honest. The article is pretty boring.
Yeah, just give your spin on it.
No, I know. Basically, the big thing is that the Biden administration is going after Proposal 22. That's basically the gist of it, and that we're probably going to see some potentially going to see some changes in California and some other states when it comes to that whole debacle, and certainly. We have not heard the last of the whole gig worker classification thing out of California. And basically, the Biden administration and they have a what's the cool? They're protecting the right to organize act which is the labor rights bill that came out last year. So the Biden administration is grabbing onto that one and is really hoping to, with that one. And some other things to go back and make some big changes to that whole thing and hopefully get rid of Proposal 22 and at least overcome that and kind of get back to where unionizing is possible. So that's really what it is, and I think we'll see some big changes there in the years to come. So
yeah, it is interesting with a Democratic president now. What's going to change a little bit? Because typically and generally they're pro-union,
right?
So,
but they are talking about and so basically the whole article ends with saying that we do know that things are changing, and it'll be interesting to see how it is kind of like the whole workforce is changing, which is what the gig economy is doing. And so they do know that changes are necessary also to the old ways. That's not the old ways isn't going to be necessarily the truth either. So I think it'll be interesting to see what are they going to do and how are they going to hopefully introduce laws that will in fact help the gig economy while not ruining the model. That's going to be the interesting part here.
Yeah, you know what really it reminds me of what's going on with the gig economy is, and maybe I'm way off base, and please throw me under the bus, which you will. I know anyways. I don't need to give you permission, but it's kind of like the cable companies and the streaming apps, right? Like I feel like the government doesn't want this gig to work. They want their money, and they're like trying to stomp it down. Like same with the cable company. They're like, oh, you have to bundle your stuff, and like, oh, hey, no, we don't need to use this anymore. And so it's just this fight back and forth. And I kind of feel like it's the same way. Like, no, we need to go to work like, the normal W-2, and, we need our money. And then all this gig work comes up and they just want to get more money. And so I feel like it's kind of the same, not quite the same battle, not apples to apples, but.
Yeah. And the gig economy companies, just like they did in California, they're gonna throw so much money at any state where they're trying to classify them as an employee. I forget what the amount they ended up paying in California, but it was a lot.
I think it was $200 million.
Yeah,
the amount that goes around. Yeah,
but they had what? Sorry,
and still haven't made a profit.
Well, they had a $6.3 billion loss for the quarter or for the year. I couldn't quite remember.
The quarter, probably the quarter.
Again, if we ran our family budgets that way, we'd all be homeless.
Yeah. Anyway. If you're on your budget like that, you get elected. Isn't that how it goes?
Oh, wow. All right, moving on. On that note. So I got this email the other day. It says some deliveries, this is from Uber on your screen. It says some deliveries now require a PIN at drop-off. A PIN is a number that helps confirm that the customer received their delivery. You'll be notified in app when you receive an order that requires a PIN. Only certain deliveries will require one. So, we all know why they did that, right? I mean, it's basically for people that say they didn't get their food. It's just for scammers trying to, beat the system, which I saw a lot of people shitting on the pin thing, and I'm like, they're doing it to it's a benefit to everybody, right? We don't to get rid of because we could get deactivated from that. So I'm happy to use a pin if someone does it, or if it requires me to. But
the pin doesn't bother me. I've had it come up a few times here lately, both with a rider and food delivery.
Oh.
And so
how does it work? Tell me exactly what happens. So when you get to the house and to drop
it says when you arrive at the delivery address, the app will prompt you to enter the PIN. The customer will tell you the 4-digit PIN for their delivery. After confirming the PIN, you'll be able to mark the delivery as completed. So with COVID, with a drop off, then they're going to have to text it to you. Clearly,
if they don't come to the door. I mean, even with the contactless delivery. Half the time my people come to see me pull up and they come to the door. I
don't understand that. Like,
I think it's just because the default. I think, like, I know Grubhub and Uber Eats and most of them, especially during the pandemic, they set the default. Unless you physically change it, it's set up as contactless delivery.
Interesting.
And people don't know that. So they assume that you're gonna knock on the door and give them the food. So I know some people, I've seen them give me weird looks when they come out and I'm in my car, but that's their fault for not knowing what the app's doing.
Yeah, nothing scares me more when I'm listening to like music or a podcast in my AirPods. Not when I'm doing food delivery, because I don't know. I guess I'm more tuned in. Maybe with Amazon delivery, I'm just kind of in my own little world, but. Nothing scares me more someone popping out that door to grab the package when you're just going to set it down. It just scares the ever-loving shit out of you. You know what I mean? Because you're not expecting something. Like, if I had someone delivering a package, even non-pandemic, I'm not going to, like, bust out the door and try to grab it from them. You know what I mean?
Scare the crap out of him.
Well, yeah, let the guy do his work. Like, he just going to put the package down. Like, pick it up and wave to him, but don't scare the shit out of him. Tip for all you people out there. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't tip my delivery driver.
Yeah, we know. That's what the $3 DoorDash orders. Decline.
That's why your Amazon boxes are all dented, Jesper.
I thought you were going to say $12 Costco orders.
Oh, shit. Man, it's funny.
It all comes full circle.
It does. It does. All right, Jesper, you want to explain this video real quick?
Yeah, so basically, hang on.
Yeah, Sam, it's worse when people show up behind you, though. Yeah, I honestly, like, a lot of times when I'm delivering Amazon, I'll keep one earbud out just because I'm listening for dogs and stuff like that. And, man, it scares the shit out of you. I'm jumpy already. Okay, sorry. Go, Jesper.
No, that's fine. So the video you're going to start playing right now is about interesting... new restaurant, I guess, showing up on the DoorDash, and all the food that you can buy at this.
No,
cool
that's
local restaurant.
No, it's not that video. Sorry, buddy. This is the one with the luggage. You shared this video. Okay, so this video basically is about somebody.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're ahead. We're on. We're on number 4.
My bad.
It's all right.
I missed track. Sorry. So yeah, basically this is somebody pulling up and there's a lot of luggage. Let's just go that way. And it's weird because there's only one person.
Yeah, I feel like that happens though quite a bit, that they send somebody ahead with all the luggage to make it easier, because obviously they weren't going to fit. But obviously for your audio listeners, it won't make a lot, but so I'm gonna play that, and sometimes it just won't fit is the title of this.
Can you kick Sam too, because he's a little bit too annoying? So.
Yeah, she's pretty feisty tonight, so
she's on top. Yeah.
All right.
What's she drinking tonight?
I don't know.
Oh, I assume this song isn't copyrighted.
Yeah, hopefully not.
It's on YouTube, so he pulls up. He's in like a sedan, I think. Nothing.
I like the song.
He's like, that ain't gonna fit. The guy's like, yes, it will. And now they spend the next like 3 minutes. I mean, it's probably what, 8?
Pile it in there.
8 pieces of luggage.
Now there's 4 suitcases right now, and there's the 5th one.
Like a
6,
jigsaw puzzle.
7.
No. And these are big suitcases too, not your average little one.
No.
They're all like unzipped and the extra
Well,
room.
they moved it a couple of times because I seen that green one go in the back, but
Yeah. It's like playing
That's probably-
a game of Tetris.
so what
Probably
would you
at
do in
least
this situation? Would you guys
12
even pick it up?
You know, I think I probably would.
He had
I
one on
probably
his
would.
lap too. That's the body in
Yeah.
that one.
That
Look at this guy's beard
that's
and his
not
mask.
in my Camry.
I know. I like his
Oh,
beard
yeah.
mask.
That was sweet.
Pretty cool.
Anyways.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had that same situation where I'm like, that ain't gonna fit, and
Right.
usually I try to argue with them, shockingly, and say this is not gonna fit in here. We can fit some in there, but not all of it. But
I had a situation back when, well, that's probably 2 years ago now, maybe 2.5 years ago, and it was 12:15. I was like one of the last flights coming in from the airport, and this family had rented a vehicle. The problem is just the rental shop was closed when they finally got in. So they hadn't really checked on that, so they couldn't pick up the van, and they were an hour away down. I forget the name of the city. Anyways, they were an hour south, and there were 6 people, and then they had the luggage of 6 people. Right? It was pretty tough to fit it in the van, but I got it, but it was some of them had it on their laps and stuff, and they took it well. So, and I think there was even also maybe even a couple guitars and stuff. So
my
That's a lot of stuff.
problem is I have trouble. This you'll be shocked by this, right? Putting stuff together. Like I don't have that brain where I can take a 2D object and make it like 3D in my head. So like literally
Right.
when I have to move something, I'm just like, nope, it's not going to fit. And then my wife's like, okay, let's look at this. It'll be fine and whatever. Like that's why when I see 2 pieces of luggage, I'm like, nope, it's not going to fit in my SUV. Forget it. Cancel. Move on.
So you're not good at the spatial stuff.
I'm not good at the spatial stuff. Well, she's like, no Tetris brain. Tetris, I'm fine because you don't have to move things 3-dimensional. You could it's
Yeah, it's
2-dimensional.
just
Yeah, so I can do Tetris just fine.
I
They make
pulled
a
up to
3D Tetris.
Walmart and had Walmart pickups before where I didn't think we were going to get. I mean, they've had 2 full carts full of groceries and then like 3 people, and we put it, filled my trunk up, and then they all 3 sat in the back, and I filled my front passenger seat up.
Was that in your
and
Camry?
it's just barely fit. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
2 cartloads
Yeah.
of groceries.
Yeah. Those are the times you're like, man, I might just cancel and keep on slowly driving by.
I would cancel so fast. Like,
You should just take all the groceries and say, I'll just come back and get you, and then just cancel the app.
There you go.
well, the problem with that kind of delivery is you're kind of doing 2 things. You're kind of delivering the food. Yeah, you're not bringing it up, but it's like you're going to make $3 on that ride. Let's say it's a short ride or whatever. And it's like, is this even worth it?
Yeah, and then you get there, and then they got to unload it, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to live on the top floor of an apartment building.
Oh,
You know
what I would do? I unload it right on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, that's what
I
I do. I'm like,
I would help
Yeah.
them unload it to the
I
sidewalk.
get it out of my trunk.
Right.
Of my trunk. Yeah, that's it. Unless there's certain special circumstance. I've helped the elderly lady carry some groceries in, but
For sure.
if they're able-bodied people, yeah, it's out of my trunk, and I'm on to the next ride.
Yes.
And you can always tell them that, hey, I've already got another call, I gotta go. I can't.
I got a
gotta
bad
go.
back. Oh, my back. All right. Next up, this is kind of interesting. So, this is from Uber Kansas City. Had a rider get in with a bowl of chili. Oh boy. As we are driving, he takes the lid off and starts breaking crackers in it. I told him to cover it up and don't spill it. He says, "You worried about getting chili on your seats, and there are people who wish they had a car to wipe chili off a seat. It's all about perspective, bruh." Okay. So
Perspective this as you cancel your ride.
I don't know if you guys are office people, but the chili reminds me with Kevin spilling in the office. I'm like, I can just see that happening.
That's so funny.
That's a good scene. The office is great.
It is. Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing you guys have had someone get in the car with? I know Larry's got to have something weird. No?
Oh, let me think. The owls I delivered were pretty weird.
Yeah, those were live owls. Can you imagine if it was like a trainer, like a hawk trainer? You're like, hey, I need to get over here. Like, I forgot my cage. The cage is broke. He's just going to sit on my arm. I would that's where you TikTok that shit right there, because that's going viral.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Just pull that right off the dash cam.
What about you, Jesper?
I don't think I've had any really weird stuff that has been transporting. So
I think Ben had those dildo straws that got left. That was like a laugh for a long
bachelorette party.
That was a bachelor. Yeah.
Well, it could be a bachelor party. It could be.
It could be.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with
that.
There's nothing wrong with dildo straws. It can go either way on those. It's great. But
just ask John. Gummy dicks.
Oh man, Sam, get on it. Send some more. We got his address. Yeah, I don't understand people's audacity though of getting in the car and just expecting. It's kind of the same thing with food. Like you pick people up at bar close and on the hot dog vendor, and they get in. You're like, oh, fuck.
Oh okay. Yes. I mean, the nerve of some people. I had a dude.
Thanks, Lisa.
Try to put his bare feet up on my dash. Like, dude, I will put you out.
Well, that's just
right
like
here on the corner.
It's like disrespectful and gross. Like I hate it when my wife puts her bare feet on my dash. You know what I mean?
I don't let anybody put their bare feet on my dash.
I mean, jeez.
I've had girls do that to me. Just like it's like normal. No, get your feet down.
No, but just think what's going to happen if you're in a wreck. Their knees are going through their chest.
Well, I don't care about that. Screw them.
Yeah. But I mean, I just tell them that.
Yeah, that's true.
Their feet is going to go through the windshield.
Yeah, and their knees are going to take out their eyes.
Yeah, that airbag's going to go and boom. I mean, it's not going to be good. Not going to be good.
Well, speaking of air,
it's just gross.
Yeah, that is gross. Speaking of airbags, Oiluber.com. That was a bad transition.
Oiluber. Y'all replacing airbags?
Yeah, right. They've gone from oil changes to airbags, y'all. No, if you go to Oiluber.com, you can sign up to get your oil change done on demand. They come out to your house. You can also get a jump start or fuel delivery. Basically, if you need a jump start or fuel delivery, that's hard to say for me, fuel delivery. And I've had no whiskey tonight.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. I told Mega I'm going to start like halfway. I can't start at the beginning because it gets sloppy at the end. But if you go to Oiluber.com, you can sign up as a tech and or a customer. You don't have to change oil. You can do any of the 3 services that they offer. But yeah, and you can sign up as a customer too. So go to Oiluber.com, on-demand oil changes. Prices are competitive to Valvoline or whatever, but why not get it done in your freaking driveway? Like, that's amazing. I'm still waiting for my jump start. I try to share it around, but what I was going to say is like, why go through your insurance company? Like, if everyone needs a jump start, like these cold temperatures, right? It's gonna take 2 or 3 hours for a wrecker to get out to you. You know what I mean? But if you go to Oiluber, it's gonna send a text to one of the techs in the area, 15 minutes, just like an Uber ride you're there. I think it's like $30 to get a jump start. And if you need to get to work, it's so worth the $30. Yeah, insurance, you might get it for quote unquote free, but you're gonna wait 3 hours too. So
or if you're just freezing your butt off.
And you might lose your job. So
well, I mean, I look at convenience. Like sometimes, you have to pay a little bit more for convenience, but it's sometimes worth it. Like if you're late for work or your wife's giving birth, I mean, you just never know when you're going to need a jump start. I know.
Hey, Brian said no airbags.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah, he's the owner of Oiluber. Yeah. So
I like how you went from late from work to wife giving birth.
To giving birth. Hey, you know me. I'm extreme.
One side to the other.
Little bit.
Just a little. All right, Jesper, let's talk about Amazon being shady. I think we have 2 stories tonight with Amazon being shady. This is about them installing cameras.
Yeah, no. So the cameras. So basically, let's see.
Brian says we don't do birthing either. Hey, you're missing out on
There you
half.
go.
You're missing out. Well, not half. Half the women don't have kids, but maybe 40% of the market. Brian, let's get on that.
Be like a doula Uber.
Don't say that. Uber's gonna do something right now. You better verbal trademark.
Verbal trademark.
What'd you say, Jesper?
It's like duper. So, anyways. So this is an article from Fox 17, and it's all about Amazon that plans to install cameras inside delivery vehicles. And of course, you go there right away that they're being shady. The point of the article is that they are doing it to kind of just help. I guess to watch over the drivers, right? But the idea is to kind of keep them more kind of structured and do better and that kind of stuff. They want to install the cameras and kind of get them going with something they call the Drivery, which is an AI-enabled cameras, and they want to kind of try and use that to just. What is the word I'm looking for here? The goal is to reduce collisions and encourage drivers to be safe when making deliveries. That's kind of what it is. So, yeah, I mean, they are going to be obviously monitoring inside the vehicles, but their goal is to try and make a better product, right? And so, at least according to the article, it's going to be inside their own vehicles first, right? But then again, when is next? Are they going to be then asking us to install them in our vehicles too?
Yeah. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. One, all these DSPs or delivery service provider, the Amazon vans that you see actually they don't work for Amazon. They have a contract with Amazon. So
Right.
I'm wondering, does Amazon have their own employees where they actually work for corporate Amazon? I don't know if the article states that. I'm not sure, but I understand
Doesn't say that.
Doesn't say that. And there may be some out there. I don't know. In this area, there's not. I understand the cameras. I totally get it. It's going to be safer, but here's the problem. Amazon warehouses, not the one that we pick up at, but where people work at, where they actually put stuff in the boxes. They already are micromanaging them so much. I mean, they time their bathroom breaks and everything. So the drivers are the last kind of hurrah of not being super scrutinized while they work. As regards to safety, I totally get that. But I think it's actually going to slow the process down of delivery, because these people aren't going to tap their phone while they're driving, because the camera's going to be on them the whole time. So they're going to make you stop and go and park and then look at your phone. So I actually think it will slow down the delivery. And then how are you supposed to pee in a bottle if you got a camera in there?
Very carefully.
Right, exactly. Very carefully. I think the other thing that I was just thinking about right now is if all you need is somebody to push the pedal and turn the wheel, and you no longer want the experience of an experienced driver, then that's not going to be good. Then we are just one step closer to the self-driving and the self-delivery, right? Because here's the thing. We know that a good experienced human driver will be able to do it better, and will be able to know all the things that the app doesn't know, because that's the other thing that they're going to want to do. As you said, they want to keep the hands off the phone and all that stuff. Well, if that's the case, then the next step is going to be, why did you turn here when the app said no, go straight? Well, I turned there because I knew it was an accident that day and it was going to be better, more efficient for me to go that way. But the app didn't know. Okay, exactly what you said. Your point exactly, Jason. We need to have a system where you can trust.
Yes.
The driver more, and because we have a driver, we pay a driver to do that. We pay him for his expertise to do this, and we're not there yet where the IT is to the point where they can do it and be just as good.
Well, I kind of have 2 points
right.
with that. I feel like even in my small business, they track our speed and our location, and I'm okay with that, because you don't need some driver going 85 miles an hour down the highway. I'm
sure.
totally okay with that. But having cameras in the car is weird, super weird. You trust nobody at that point. But you make up a good point about the technology. I actually feel you're going to see drone deliveries from Amazon before you're even going to see self-driving cars? Because how is this package going to get from this van? Okay, you can go from point A to point B down a straight line. How are you going to get the package to the house?
A little robot.
Well, it's got to be quick. I mean, these drivers, like, there's no robot out there right now that can be as quick as what we are. I mean, we can.
I agree with you, Jason. I think the drones are definitely closer. I know they're testing those in different places, and I see that as much more realistic.
Yes.
Path for them. In the near future than the automated driving. Because
you get the automated. Go ahead, Jesper. Sorry, I know there's a little bit more of a delay since you're in Denmark for whatever reason, but go ahead.
I was just going to say that the whole drone delivery has a lot more like political so far that they need to be approved first. I mean, there's a lot of loopholes that they got to go through before that's all.
But I mean, as far as like efficiency and safety, I honestly think the drones are safer. Yeah, there's a shit ton of thanks, Jimmy. There's a shit ton of like drones in the air, but I mean, if it's all Amazon drones, they know where they're all going.
Yeah, and Amazon's got enough money to pay enough lobbyists to get it done.
Yeah, you're bitching about Uber. Wait till Amazon starts paying lobbies.
Yeah, they'll own everything.
And I'm sure they already have.
Right.
Yes, they have.
What do we got here? Okay, so this one's I gotta read it here. This is from DoorDash Reddit group. It says rude. This is kind of hilarious. Some of these when I read them, I don't know if they're exactly true or not. But I'll read it anyways. Just got free food for the first time, not due to cancellation. I picked up some food from Baker's and headed over to drop it off. It's apartments by the university. He puts the leasing office as the address and puts instructions saying a different address and apartment number. I call him and say, I'm pretty sure I'm outside your building. He goes, it says building number in the instruction and hangs up. Okay, dude, real cool. Try to call again, no answer. So I call support. New address is different. Say address is different. He changes it. I say, I don't want to take the food. He was a dick. Support says, let me call him. Guess what? He was a dick to the support guy too. Support puts us on a 3-way call. I yell at him. He should be nicer to the people who handle his food with profanity. He says I should be fired and hangs up. Support guy was baffled and didn't know what to say. I did get a full pay and a food. So that thanks for being a dick, James. Now fuck off. So again, I don't know if it, how real this is or not, but I kind of hope DoorDash did put him on a 3-way call. Whether it be on accident or purpose, I don't know.
Either way, it'd be funny.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand people that are aggressive to food. Like, again, you get tipped more on food delivery than people delivery. So you just like. Food is like the end all be all. Like someone's delivering you hot food. Why would you be a total dick to them?
Yeah, it's like you're too lazy to get out and go get it yourself, but yet you're gonna bitch about it when we bring it because something's not exactly right. Or
it's not even that. He's like the numbers in the thing and just to hang up on somebody. Yeah. Jesper, I have to tell you, and you know this. I think one of my shortest deliveries actually today. I do have a story from today. It's not very exciting though. I ordered from China Chef. Shut up, Larry. What did I say? Chef? China Chef?
China Chef.
China Chef on Lake Michigan Drive. You know where that's at by the Walgreens, right? Yep. Across the street, the new apartments that are by the Aldi. That's where my delivery was. It's 0.2 of a mile. I couldn't believe that.
How much did you make on that one?
So interesting. You guys are going to laugh at me. So I was towards my end of my goal time, and I'm at that point, I just want to be done. So I took it for $6.50, but it literally was across the street. So I was like, I'll take it. And I just wanted to be done with my day. So that's
below your standards usual.
I know it is. Usually it's like $7, $7.50, but time of day. Remember we talked about that. Sometimes it's,
yeah, I've gotten on Grubhub. $9 is pretty much my low.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, again, you got to know time of day and location. Yeah. Like if it's 2:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, I'll take a $6 if I'm close to my goal.
Yeah, that totally. The context definitely makes a difference than if it's a Saturday night at 6:00.
China to Chef.
So So the real question here, Jason, is: did you go on TikTok and cry about it afterwards?
I didn't, but I
yet, Jesper.
I should have. I have not gone viral. Oh, I know who Jimmy is. Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? Okay, so this is crazy. I have not seen this anywhere on social media. I feel like I should post it. Like maybe we could actually go viral. All right, so I'm gonna play this. Hang on one second. Oh shit, did I load it? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so for the audio people, it's not gonna really matter. So basically, this is me a screen grab. It says, "Why are GR Admiral's stations showing up on Grubhub?" Basically, he posted a screenshot of Grubhub called Admiral on 28th Street that featured a super swanky menu. And as we're scrolling down, it has duck liver plate for $9, scallop plate, turkey soup plate. Oh, I'm going way fast. I can't even read it. So it's Admiral. I mean, what would you guys say? Gosh, if anyone owns Admiral and hears this, Admiral's like the ghetto gas station of Michigan, I feel like. I mean, if you're going to get shot, you're definitely going to get shot at an Admiral. But I don't know. He saw it on Grubhub, and he just started looking at it. But, yeah, you basically oh, there's a text from Telegram coming through. Yeah, you basically could order all this swanky food. Now, the guy did call the Admiral and ask about it. And the people at Admiral did not know what the hell he was talking about. So I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. I probably should have just popped on Grubhub tonight to see if that was still active. But that's going to be, the last place that you're going to want to get swanky food as an Admiral. You're going to get cigarettes.
I don't care what gas station it is. I'm not getting duck liver from a gas station.
No,
I mean, why
unless I'm using it for bait.
Yeah, why would you get it anyways? Duck liver? Judas Priest.
Hey, it's delicious.
Oh,
don't go there.
You eat some weird shit, Jesper. I'm telling you.
Oh, I do. Hey, I'm from Denmark.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Dustin, thanks for chiming in. Sam, no, Jimmy is not the kid that did the documentary. Nope, he's got an app. We haven't talked about it yet, but yeah. So that's who Jimmy is. Yeah, you guys should check that movie out. It's already out. I need to buy it just to support them. Well, I mean, I already got to see it, but anyways. So
it's a good movie.
It is. If you're a gig worker, you will definitely love it. It's called Lapsus, Lapsis.
Lapsus.
You can get it Amazon.
On my agenda to watch.
You should. Yeah, it is actually really good. I mean, for what it is, it's not a blockbuster, y'all. But I mean, if you're a gig worker, you'll totally get the movie and understand this guy's pain.
Well, it's really well made. It's yeah. So
for a smaller budget, it is.
Yeah,
it is really well made. All right.
Yeah, do you remember the Driver X movie that came out several years ago?
Wasn't it Stuber, or was it another one?
No, Stuber was the comedy, but Rider X was more meant to show kind of the real. Yeah, it was a weird movie. It had a weird ending, a really weird ending. But it had some big name actors in it.
I don't even remember it. What was the gist of it?
Yeah, it was just a guy who owned a record store out in California, and of course, record stores not doing well, and he lost his store, so he ended up not being able to find a job really because he was getting to be older and didn't want to take just any job. Ended up driving for a rideshare company, and they called it Driver X was the app instead of Uber, but it was it was just based on the Uber app. You could tell, and just kind of showed him going through progression, learning how to become a rideshare driver, and then it got, like I said, it got really weird at the end.
There's we interviewed him a while back, Joe Bianco. We read his book, A Drive to Kill. There is a little stretch at the end. It gets a little long in the tooth, but I can see it's basically about an Uber driver that basically lost everything and goes nuts and starts killing people while he's picking them up. So, I mean, it's
a family movie is what you're saying.
Family friendly.
Yes.
So Dustin brought up a good point, not talking about the Lyft rate cuts. Honestly, I feel like I'm so out of the loop with rideshare work. Like I knew about it, but it just
I read several markets where they were cutting it, going down. A lot of places were going down to 60 cents per mile.
Okay.
Which is, yeah. I mean, I don't talk about my rates because I'm afraid somebody's going to spill the beans and they're going to cut them. So I don't say anything.
No, it's fine. Honestly, like Lyft, I don't even know how they're making it now. Like at least Uber has a lot other sources of revenue. If Uber would stop spending all the damn money that they make, they could become profitable. It doesn't surprise me that they're cutting rates.
I don't think they have any interest in being profitable, Uber, to be honest.
No, I don't either. I don't think that's in their plan, right?
Thanks, Philip. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they cut rates. Again, I honestly, I am so out of the ride share. Jersey Shore got good. $1.25 a mile.
Yeah,
Holy
Dustin,
shit.
I'm pretty close to you.
How's bragging camp?
I'm less than 10 cents away from you on that. We're $1.17 a mile in Bowling Green.
That's crazy.
And we don't have to put up with the northern attitude.
Whatever. Aren't you getting like 6 inches of snow tonight?
3 to 5.
Yeah.
Hey, I just had to throw that out there. My ex-wife's from New Jersey, so you know.
Yeah, Dustin's in Jersey too, I think. Or wait, did he move from Jersey to
I never
Florida?
hear why he moved to Jersey from Florida.
Florida. Yeah, Jersey's probably got freaking more taxes than Florida does. Anyways, who knows? Sam, no, it's not based on the Kalamazoo Psycho, but it's kind of like that. It's a decent book. It's a fast read. It's called A Drive to Kill. You can get it on Amazon. Okay, DoorDash. They spent $5.5 million to advertise their $1 million charity donation. Yeah, what do you think about that? Like, I don't know. DoorDash just seems... That's just shady. Why would you spend that much money?
Doesn't seem like a good investment.
I mean, after the game, they announced they had raised $1 million for this charitable effort. Why they don't mention is they spent $5.5 million to buy the ad slot. Yeah, why just if you're so
just give it all.
Yeah,
give it all
if you're
for
so
the
support the
donation.
Yeah, like how much? $5.5 million. I mean,
That's ridiculous.
think how much. I always see that shit like. And I thought like everyone wasn't going to spend a lot on Super Bowl ads this year. Like the beer companies were. I saw a bunch of beer ads. What did they just like try to bait each other not to do an ad? And then right at the last second, they stabbed each other in the back. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a great Super Bowl. The best.
Super Bowl. I did want the Bucks to win because I just like, as much as I hate Brady, I kind of like him.
I'm a huge Buccaneers fan.
Well, the Bucks aside, with Brady, I mean, how can you hate a guy that's just a machine?
He just wins. He just wins.
He's the best all time after winning a Super Bowl is this his first year there?
Yeah,
that's
his
nuts.
first year there.
That's nuts.
And they couldn't even do any preseason practice or game. I mean, any
because of
preseason
COVID,
games.
right?
Yeah, because of COVID. And he went there. He has more Super Bowls than any other NFL team has.
Oh, wow. Him personally?
Him personally. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, no doubt.
For sure.
I used to hate playing against him, but because he was so good. I mean, you wouldn't hate him if he wasn't any good. But
Dustin, the Reddit commercial, I don't remember that one. I did watch the whole game, but I think I had plowed the night before.
Yeah, it was Reddit. I think it was like a 5-second commercial.
Was it the Wall Street guys? No, that couldn't have been it. The Wall Street bettors or whatever.
Brilliant.
Jimmy, I think that Tom Cruise is Tom Brady of Hollywood. Oh, gosh. I'm going to ban you for that. All right. This is Jaspers. This is just kind of funny.
You can show the photo. Yep.
There we go. So this is if you're an Uber driver working from home.
Uber driver working from home. I like that. So
I'm gonna get in on that one.
Get yourself a good like what is that, steering wheel for your Xbox or whatever. And then...
Right. That does bring up a good point. What happens when they have self-driving cars, and is that something that we would have personally? Like we would still work for Uber, but we would never be in the car. It would you're the liability.
Well, is that Is that so? Would that be a remote working Uber driver, or is that a self-drive? Because it's not self-driving, right? If you're driving it, but remotely.
Well, no, you cannot do that. That's dangerous. You need a self-driving car completely, but you would still have to monitor it somehow, right?
I mean, it's like the drone pilots.
They don't.
You're sitting at home and they're flying drones.
Well, drones are a little different when they're in the air by themselves.
Oh yeah. No, I totally agree. That would be, you'd have to have about 20 screens so you can see all around you, all around the back of the car and everywhere else.
Yeah, because doesn't a Tesla have like a ton of cameras already? Like that's how it works.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, they have to. Any self-driving car has to have a bunch of sensors, whether it's cameras or LiDAR.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. Speaking of cameras and money, Patreon. We would love for you to join.
Nice segue.
Thank you. We would love you to join us on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com and just search the Gig Economy Podcast, you get a piece of merch, you get an extra podcast a month, and you get before show banter. Sorry, this music is so loud. It runs on the same channel that you guys are all on, so I should have took the music off. But anyways, go to patreon.com, search the Gig Economy Podcast. We'd love for you to join us. Lately, our extra podcasts have been like basically interviews that we do. You get to get those first. A new gig that might come out, a new app, get a chance to grab it before anyone else. So, but yeah, you don't hear the music, Sam? That's weird. You guys hear the music, don't you?
It's in your head, Jason.
Yeah.
But not very loud.
Yeah, I just bumped it down. But anyways, so yeah, go to patreon.com, support us. We haven't had a new Patreon in a long time. We would love to get someone else. We do need to plan something for March yet. We've been pretty good. We've been good, Jasper, haven't we? We put down a lot of interviews lately, and it's been...
Y'all been rolling. Yep. Y'all been rolling. Join the Patreon. It's worth it.
Yes, and I want to give somebody some new merch. I'm waiting to design it, but I'm not going to design it until we get another one. But Larry,
somebody join. It's like a telethon. We need somebody to join tonight.
Yes,
somebody to commit.
Can you save this podcast? Where's the Michelle? Or no? What's the name? The ASPCA commercial. What's that chick's name that sings this? Oh, Sarah McLachlan. I will remember you. All right, Larry, you're up. You're getting the next couple articles.
All right. So first of all, I want to talk about two new features that Lyft is introducing. One of them is called Ride for Others. And the second one's called Lyft Family. So Ride for Others, what it does is it allows people to order a trip for like a friend or a family member. And as drivers, we know this happens all the time already.
Yes.
But it can be kind of confusing when you pull up and you're supposed to be picking up Fred and you pull up and there's a female standing there and you don't think that's your passenger and they start getting in your car. And then you have to work out, who ordered this ride and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this Ride for Others feature, if you're the passenger, it gives you a notification when the driver picks up your passenger, and you can also track their progress, I guess, on the app. And it says, according to Lyft, the feature is going to also reduce driver confusion. So I'm assuming on the driver app, we're going to get a notification that who the actual passenger is.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Ride. So yeah, that'll be good if that actually happens. And then the second feature, the Lyft Family. Currently, they're just trying it out in California and Oregon and Washington State. It says it just kind of gives a little more functionality to family accounts. So what you can do, you can add 5 family members to your Lyft account and just set a single payment, like a credit card, for everybody to use out of that account.
Okay.
It says it's important to note that all riders must be over the age of 18. They put that in just for Pete.
Good.
Oh, Pink Shirt Pete. Ivory, you bitch.
So yeah, it says Lyft Family. It's the account holder is a person who they have access to all the family, all the rides, and all the trip details and everything like that. So it's probably going to be the mom or dad, and then also they also have the option to request a ride for any of the other family members that are on the account.
I mean, they have these new features. In order to pay for them, they had to cut the rates in the entire country.
Well, that was Lyft. Yeah, that was Lyft.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this is Lyft. So they had to cut the rates.
Selling off
Doesn't Uber already have something like that where you can request a ride for someone else, or were they testing it? I swear.
I think they maybe have tested. I've never seen it. I've never seen like it come up and telling me that the ride's for somebody else. They may have it on the passenger side.
Live yet? Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. That'll be nice. That'll be nice because I mean, y'all know it happens so often that you pick up somebody that's not who it says on the app. I mean, I have customers that I've picked up regularly here in Bowling Green. We have a lot of repeat customers. I have this girl. I've picked her up probably a dozen times, and I know when it comes up and says Landon, I know I'm not picking up Landon. I'm picking up his girlfriend. Well, because he always ordered a ride for her.
Yeah, that feature works great if they use it properly. You're still going to have the same issue where they're like, we don't need to put the name. But that would be nice to know ahead of time that you're not picking up, Joe, you're picking up Susie.
Yeah, and it helps, especially if you're picking up in a crowded place like a concert or something like that. It's not so tough if you're picking up at a house and somebody's standing out there. You figure that's probably your passenger,
right?
Standing out there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, because if you're looking for a male and the female's actually getting in the car, you're like, whoa, this is not Joe or whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, well, Amazon.
Joe,
what's up?
It could be Joe.
It could be Joe.
I don't know how he identified.
Well, that's true. I mean, that is totally true.
We're all inclusive here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Okay, so no, we do care.
I like that one.
I added some new drops. So Amazon got sued by the Federal Trade Commission. Shocker.
Shocking.
Yes, they're going to pay their flex delivery drivers almost $62 million. So when I say flex, I do flex delivery, but this is for just the Whole Foods and grocery delivery, the ones where you actually get tips. I don't get tips on delivering my package. I should. Then I won't kick it. But so
throw it.
Basically what it is, and I think DoorDash got dinged for this too, but they quote the $18 to $25 an hour, and you keep all the tips. Well, basically they redid their pay system so that, if their base rate was, Amazon determined that area's base rate was 14. If the customer tipped 4, they would bump it up and said, you're making $18 an hour. I still think DoorDash is doing that shit. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they are. I don't know why, but
I barely do DoorDash. I mean, it has to be really slow for me to turn it on. And then, I mean, the last 4 or 5 times I've turned it on, I immediately get 3 orders that are under, $6, and I just turn it off.
Yeah.
Or they turn me off. They cut me off. Say if you're not going to accept it, they're going to cut you off. But
right.
I don't know what it is around here. It just seems like DoorDash is. My son does DoorDash up near where he goes to school up near Cincinnati, and he does really pretty well on it up there.
Yeah.
So it's really how it's regional. Different apps are better in different places, I believe.
Yeah, I would say Grubhub is the best app here. I know I've talked about it before, then maybe Uber, and then DoorDash. But here's the thing, like if you want to stay busy, DoorDash is where you go. Because it's nonstop. Now, a lot of them are $3 orders. Basically, the customer didn't tip. But yeah, DoorDash is the busiest here, I would say.
I'll turn it on, like I said. I'll turn on Lyft and Uber first, and then if it's slow, I'll turn on Grubhub, and if it's really slow, I'll turn on DoorDash, and I'll never turn on Postmates.
No, God, no. And they're bought up by Uber anyways. Yeah, so I don't know how to beat the DoorDash. Like, I don't know if I'm not smart enough to figure it out, but I just feel that they do. Sometimes you'll see the base rate's supposed to be 3, and all of a sudden it'll say 2, and then the customer's tip there, and I'm like, why did it go down $1? I don't know. It just it frustrates.
Shady.
It is shady. If it's $3 base, it should be $3 base every single time. It shouldn't be if the customer tips a lot.
It's kind of the meaning of the base.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. That's how we make our money is on the tips, not the. I mean, it's only $1, but still, why the hell are you doing it? So yeah, basically.
I mean, $1 from. Think of how many delivery drivers they have. That adds up for
that's
them
true.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, that is true.
They tip the platform, not you.
Exactly. I mean, why wouldn't you?
That software.
Yeah. Well, so Amazon got caught.
Surprise.
Man, we've had a lot of new people liking the stream tonight. Thank you, Nicole.
That's all my fans.
Oh, is it?
That's what it is.
Are you serious? Or are you just
I don't know.
you son of a
BSing.
bitch? All right, Larry, why don't you hit on the vaccines, and then we got a couple more pictures and wrap it up.
All right, yeah. So Uber's going to partner with Walgreens. They're going to be offering free transportation to Walgreens stores and some off-site vaccine clinics. It also says they're going to give one-click access to pre-scheduled rides on the Uber app whenever a Walgreens vaccination appointment's made. And then it also is they're putting in new in-app features that are designed to connect people, active drivers, delivery drivers, and the freight carriers that do Uber Freight. So people using Uber or Uber Eats are delivering for Uber or Uber Eats or Uber Freight could possibly be delivering vaccines, which is kind of scary, but
yeah. I don't want any.
When we mix it with this, I wonder what a little Mountain Dew will do if we mix it.
No,
with
Baja
this.
Blast, bro.
Baja Blast.
Oh, you guys and your damn Baja Blast.
Get a little pep in your step there, my man. Shoot that right in your arm.
Don't take those packages.
I mean, I do definitely I love that Uber is doing this for the underprivileged areas, because I wouldn't want transportation to be the one reason why you couldn't get the vaccine. I mean, I'm sure they could figure it out, but it is always nice when these companies do step in and do that. Jimmy loves you, Larry, by the way. He says you got a new fan.
Who does?
Jimmy.
Oh, hey, Jimmy. And yeah, it is nice when they do stuff like that and give back. Like I know when the elections roll around, they always offer free rides to the polls, things like that. So it is good to see. I mean, they're doing it for PR, but it's still serving a good purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if it benefits people, I'm fine with the PR. Yeah. I mean, spending $5.5 million on a $1 million charity, that's bullshit.
That's pass backwards.
Yeah, oh man, so much hate for that. All right.
Well deserved hate.
Well deserved. So this was in our local group. It says, avoid the McDonald's on Michigan, which you should anyways. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
Yes.
I'm in Kentucky.
Yes.
I know not to go to the McDonald's on Michigan.
It says, got to the pickup window and they claim not to have the order at all. But I heard the girls in the back laughing, say, we ain't got no time to make that effing DoorDash bull S. Send those a-holes on. Oh, it says see more. I didn't click on see more when I screenshot this, but basically they were saying that they weren't gonna, make the food for DoorDash. I often wonder if shut up, Sam. I often wonder. I'm just reading what I see. She said, "Say the swears." I often wonder how much they actually hate the DoorDash and the Uber Eats and all that stuff as an employee. Of course, the company likes it because they're getting their food out there. But I try to be
a little bit.
Go ahead, Jesper.
The Michigan Street McDonald's employees are so slow as it is. I mean, I have no idea how they ever do anything.
Well, I think it's like, I don't know. I don't know why they are. I don't know if they're like, well, we're the only McDonald's in 1 square mile, so F you. I mean, I really don't know why they're so incredibly slow.
We have a McDonald's like that here. It's on Russellville Road, and I literally, when I first started doing Uber Eats, and it's the reason I didn't do Uber Eats for a long time after that, I was in their drive-thru for 45 minutes one night, and I was like, not again. Not will not happen.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah, if I ever see an order for McDonald's, that McDonald's will not take it. Will not.
And as much as I tease Jesper not going to McDonald's, I will do McDonald's orders. If they pay a lot, and depending on the time. If it's 11:30 a.m., for sure. Yeah. If it's 12:30, oh hell no. You know what I mean? Just because you just got to know your time. But I often wonder if they do really hate us drivers going there, and I try to kill them with kindness. I'm super sweet on them just because I know they're probably frustrated a little bit, and they're like, especially when a place is busy and they're like, oh, we're dealing with this effing dude that's delivering for DoorDash I could give 2 shits about.
Yeah, but it's funny though because you have polar opposites on that, because there's a bunch of the workers at the fast food places who are always. I mean, I can't even count how many free Baja Blasts I've gotten from Taco Bell. You know, they'll come through like, "Hey, man, you want something to drink?" And that's happened to me at McDonald's.
I
Taco
never
Bell.
get that.
Oh, I get that a lot here.
Wait, you get a free Baja Blast
Yeah.
at McDonald's?
No. It must be
Somebody left it in
Southern
the parking lot.
Hospitality or something. I don't know.
It must be. Yeah, there you go.
But
Southern Hospitality.
anyways, speaking of Taco Bell, this was at my local Taco Bell. Now that they've COVID has switched a little bit, at least at Grand Rapids, some of the restaurants are wanting you to come in, which is weird. Most of them are still, the lobby is closed. Although Taco Bell lobby is closed, if you're a delivery driver, they want you to come in. So it says, do you have your bag? No, these are just for your audio listeners. This is just a piece of paper taped up. It's not from corporate or anything of that. So it says, do you have your bag? We can help you. If not, unfortunately, we cannot. And then on the other side, it says, no bag, no service. So this has kind of been a hot topic. We talked about this in the podcast, Mike Delivers podcast. You guys should check that out. Super good podcast. Uber Eats delivery driver out in New Jersey that has some great stories. His podcast is awesome. It's not as long-winded as ours. I'll just let you know. So that's good. But it's interesting because we talked about the bag, and I always use a bag. And apparently Taco Bell says they're not giving the food. Well, you can see my bag in the picture. That's my bag right there. I didn't even notice my bag was in the picture. But yeah, so I always use a bag. What do you do, Larry? Do you have a bag?
I always have I think I lost the one that I think Uber gave me.
Okay.
So I've got a Postmates bag that I usually use, but I've got Grubhub bags. I've got a couple of those as well. It's just I like the Postmates bag a little bit. It's a little easier to carry. It's not quite as bulky as the Grubhub bag is. It just seems to work a little better. But I'll have it. I have a couple of them in my trunk.
Yeah.
So I carry a couple of them in case, that's a big order. Sometimes I'll use more than one.
I ended up getting rid of all the app bags because the zippers kept jacking up on me. They were very poor quality. And I ended up buying two.
Starting to go.
Yeah, I ended up buying 2 bags off Amazon for $20, and those things are like awesome. I never have zipper issues. They close and open just fine. I've done it 1,000 times. So
I'm sure I'll end up doing that. Or we could buy, we could pay $50 and get the Uber Eats bag.
Oh,
I got that email the other day.
Dude, we need to have our own bag. We need to get on that. We could probably sell a lot of those. So Jerry must be in your market. How about Starbucks, Larry? That has been my worst, he says.
Oh, hey, Jerry. Oh, I want to say hi to Janet, too. Hey, Janet. So now we are international.
Yes, Janet.
Even more international, I should say.
Yeah.
Extra international. Jerry, I've had, it's either one extreme or the other with Starbucks. It's either you walk in and they've got it ready at the counter, ready to go. And then there's other times it takes like 30 minutes. And, I've gone up there and they're not consistent either. Sometimes they'll put it out on the counter where the food is that everybody else is coming in to pick up. And then other times they keep it up by the register. And so you never know what to do. So you always have to go up and ask them at the register. And then they'll go, well, like it's over there on the counter. Like, well, last time y'all had it up the register.
Yeah.
So, if they were consistent, it'd be easier. But yeah, it's one extreme or the other. It's never kind of just okay. It's either it's ready to go right when you get there or seems like you wait a long time.
So I don't remember. I had a huge Starbucks rant, and I may have done it in the gig economy chat, which you can check out. We have a Telegram app, which is a messaging app that the link is in the description. You can join our group. But I ranted and ranted and ranted about Starbucks. I was in line, right? I get all the way to the window. I waited for like 20 minutes, and I was like, is your lobby open? They're like, oh, yeah, you could have came in and got it. I was like,
oh, yeah, I had that happen at White Castle.
I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, that makes me so mad. That happened to White Castle. White Castle gets so backed up, and during the pandemic, they're so random. Like their lobby will be open sometimes, and sometimes it won't. So then, you don't want to sit in the long line, then figure out the lobby is open. So you park, and then you go, and okay, today it's not open. Yesterday it was open.
Oh,
it just drives you crazy. You never know which one it's going to be.
And that happened with me with Taco Bell. I got in line.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it wasn't too long. They're like, they wouldn't even serve me in the drive-thru. They're like, this is the Taco Bell that had the note. So my guess is they're rule followers. They were like, nope, you need to park. And thankfully, I was able to scoot out of line. I didn't have to wait all the way through it.
Oh, yeah. See, our Taco Bell's here. Once you're in the drive-thru line,
You're locked in?
You're locked. You're locked.
I don't understand why they do that, because, you might need to bail sometimes,
Yeah, and we have one Taco Bell here it's kind of like the McDonald's.
Oh.
We got a couple of Taco Bells that are fine, and this one Taco Bell I will not. It's the one closest to my house. Actually, I will not take a delivery there. I don't know what they do, but like the last several times I went there, they would take your order at the window. You pull up to where you pay and get your food, and they would tell you to go around to the other side of the building. And so every car was doing that. So they were lined up around the whole building, and it was like that all day. I would drive by, and they would still be doing that. I was like, this is not how drive-thrus are supposed to work.
Yeah, the drive-thrus have been around since the 50s, y'all. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you're not inventing the wheel here.
Right. All right.
Yeah, that's one I won't accept a delivery from there at all.
All right, we're gonna jump into the tip time. Larry's got the tip tonight, so I'm super stoked for that.
All right, for the tip tonight, we're going to talk about why you might want to consider getting an umbrella insurance policy. I know we all have insurance, and most of us have the riders on our insurance that cover rideshare, but you may want to think about adding on actually an umbrella policy. And what an umbrella policy is, it's just a best way to explain it. I don't know. It's just a
does it just add like
above and beyond what you would normally have. It's for people who either you might have a decent enough work, own a lot of assets, or somebody who's at significant risk of being sued, which as a rideshare driver we really are.
Yep.
At a much higher risk of being sued. And my insurance agent actually brought it up to me, not because I'm a rideshare driver, but just because of the fact of how many kids we have on our insurance. He thought, so yeah, he just brought it up one day. I was changing insurance. I was adding a car or something. He's like, you really should talk to us about adding an umbrella policy because, with I think I can't even remember how many we have on our, I think 4 right now that are, 22 or younger on our insurance. And so it's something I'm really going to consider doing because if you shop around, it's really not that much more, and it adds significant amount. Like most umbrella policies will add like $1 million of coverage to you, because a lot of people will have the bare amount that your state requires,
right? And
you can burn through that if you have an accident that's your fault and you've hurt somebody. That can burn through that really quick, and next thing you know, you can put your house and everything else at risk. So, just talk to your insurance agent. I recommend you shop around insurance once a year. It's easy to get stuck in with one policy or one agent that you've had and you trust, and you're like, oh, I'm sure I'm getting the best rate, but a lot of times you're not if you check it out.
Yeah, I often wonder with, the rider's only for rideshare. I don't think it covers you for like food delivery and shit like that. I often wonder.
Those are very gray areas. It's hard to get any solid information on what happens.
They're going to have to change, just like, the cable companies, right? Like this is kind of the new way of people doing extra work and using their cars. So you're going to have to, otherwise you're going to have freaking, you're not only going to have pissed off people when you're not covering them, you're going to have like expenses out the ass. So it's probably, they better do something.
Yeah, they've got to get together because, it's never going back. The delivery has picked up so much during COVID.
Yeah.
And people are getting used to it. It's not going to go back to the way it was ever. I mean, I know people like to go out and eat, but the levels are never going to go back down to where they used to be. No. And also not only that, the food companies, delivery companies, they're expanding their range so far.
Right.
I mean, I know when I first started for Grubhub, I couldn't even get it delivered to my house.
Okay.
And I mean, I live, a mile outside the city limit probably.
Okay.
And now I've delivered food to Portland, Tennessee twice in a day.
Wow.
And that's like 40 miles from here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And it was the exact same place. I went down there and took a delivery, and they have it's a fulfillment house. It's like a Macy's warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
and this guy was on his lunch break, and I no sooner had handed it to him, I was halfway back to Bowling Green, got another call right back to Macy's, the same place.
Really?
And these people were on their lunch. I'm like, have you ever thought of packing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Like,
you're paying like $30 for this burger.
Well, and that's
ridiculous.
And that's why I think you're right about it staying around. Because even today, like I was doing some other gig work earlier in the morning, and I threw on I did throw on DoorDash and Uber. I was like delivering like breakfast food like in the middle of the week, like in the morning. I could see it on the weekends, but like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, and this past Saturday, I know I delivered pizza to a little community called Auburn, and it's down toward where my wife teaches, and it was about a 30-minute drive. And I know these people had, before food, Uber Eats and all this came about, they could not get any kind of, because they were out in the sticks. I mean, they're out in the boonies. It's one of those when you're getting out of the car, like I had my baton in my back pocket.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. You're out in the sticks, out in the boonies, and you're always worried about a dog running up on you, or
freaking dogs.
You just don't know what's going to happen. So,
well, guys,
people are being able to get food or order food at home for the first time.
Yeah, but before I wrap, why would you, if you're 40 minutes away from the freaking pizza, like who's going to do that? Like, it's going to be cold, even with a hot bag. It's going to be cold. That's stupid.
Right.
They do it though. They do it. Yeah.
Whatever. Spend your whole paycheck on cold ass pizza.
Well, I love the people who order milkshakes, or ice cream.
Yeah.
All right. Here's your slush.
Oh God, I know. Like tropical smoothie too. Like you pick it up and you're like, I see it moving when I grab it. I'm like, how long has this been sitting here? Like I went right to the restaurant, but clearly I'm not the first driver that got this order.
Especially when it's like 95 degrees outside.
Oh, jeez. Anyways.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Well, Larry.
Job security, right?
Yep.
Security.
Larry, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Jesper, thanks for staying up. I appreciate your dedication to the podcast. Hopefully you can
highly motivated, super dedicated, Jesper.
Yes.
I slept.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can have a little snack and go back to bed and sleep in the morning. But thanks, guy, for joining us. Thanks for everyone that liked the stream and shared it and we're new tonight. We super appreciate it, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good night.
Guys, appreciate y'all having me on, and thanks to my Bowling Green peeps for tuning in tonight.